3D printing is going well. It's art, okay? I didn't want that to be anything. Did you think it was going to be something? Anyway, it's funny because I told this guy I'd have this boat done tonight. Well, it's like 7:15, he dropped it off at 5 o'clock, and I haven't even started on it yet. That's good. That's really good. Anyway, this is 1997 SeaDoo Speedster, I believe. It's got the twin Rotax marine engines in it. Those are nice. No. We're going to try to see what is wrong with this thing. So now he claims he just bought the boat and knows nothing about it. He doesn't even know how to drive a boat. Bought the boat, stuck it right in the water, and realized he had an issue. The issue is with the starboard side engine. It will not rev past 3,400, 3,500 RPMs. So we're going to go through it and see what we can find out. I don't really have much knowledge on these things, but I do have some engine knowledge. I've messed with these engines before, just not in this boat. So we will be going through this together. Now, I want to fire it up and just see what it does. I got my garden hose out here. We're going to turn this thing around so the butt end is facing out the door because I don't have a drain in here. And I don't want water just pouring over willy-nilly. Okay? So let's get this thing turned around and put some water to it and fire it up and see what it does. Now you may be asking yourself why I didn't use my tractor that's over there in the yard. I was supposed to make a video on that thing, but I didn't get around to it. International, well, it's a Cub lowboy. Well, it broke a tie rod when I was trying to pull this thing into the garage. So I did pull the plugs out and do a compression test and looked at the plugs, and they're pretty fouled. So we're just going to put them back in and see what they do. I know you guys can't see nothing, but I'm just putting the plugs back in. I'll get you guys in here in a minute. Just relax, okay? Alright, plugs are back in. I'll give you guys a peek into the engine bay. That's what we're working with. 2 Rotax engines. I'm not sure the CC's on these. I'll do a little more digging. But yeah, plugs are back in. We're going to hook the garden hose up here and we're going to fire this thing up. I got to spin this thing on. Oh, for Pete's sake. I thought this was a swivel. Got water coming out the back, out the exhaust. All right, let's turn the key and see what happens. It's definitely, I'm not 100% on this, but I think it's in some kind of limp mode, because it seems to me like it's limiting the RPMs. That's not a carburetor issue. That's not a spark plug issue. I do have spark plugs here on hand. I'm going to throw in it because the way he was describing it sounded like it was kind of a spark issue. I don't think it's a spark issue. I think there's something physically, I think the computer's limiting the spark, but I'll throw new plugs in it and see if we get different results. I know you guys can't see, I'm sorry, but I don't have any room up here to put the tripod on the seat, and well, now I'm just making excuses. I mean, the plugs are kind of fouled, but I don't think that's our issue. We'll try it. Never hurts to put new spark plugs in 2-strokes. They're cheap enough. There's only 2 of them. I guess if you're doing both engines, it would be 4. And I believe these have some kind of ECU or engine computer on them, because it has a start-stop button, it has a beeper, it's got a digital temp gauge, which there is no gauge on the dash. So I think everything's ran through the computer. All right, let's try it again after the plugs are in. I don't think it's going to change anything, but you know, we'll see. Okay. Now, will this stay up here this time? Keep kinking my hose. As suspected, did not fix our issue. Sorry, I had a phone call. I was reading through the manual here. It doesn't really say anything about the engines per se. It almost sounds like a neutral, like, safety switch. You know what I mean? Some cars have them. Like, when you have it in neutral, it'll only rev up so far. Let's try putting it in gear and see if it'll rev past 3,500. Just willy-nilly. Seems as it's working as designed. I swear he said it was the starboard side engine. He kept pointing to this gauge on the right, which I assume is the right engine, starboard side. Just for shits and giggles, let's go to the other side and see if it acts up at all. Now turn the fuel on first. now idling smooth. There it's idling smooth. See the difference? I should have thrown spark plugs in that. I still can. I can throw spark plugs in that one too. But who knows the last time it's been changed. I'm not exactly sure what happened. The only thing I can think of is this neutral safety switch. If he's taking it out tomorrow, because it was a rush deal. I've never met this guy before. He dropped it off and said, "Hey, I heard you work on boats." I said, "Huh." Here and there, give or take. Now I didn't. Now that's what it sounded like. It was obviously a speed limiter. Obviously, having this in neutral and free revving it, it only limits the power until, you know, to 3,500. But you put this in forward, it'll take it to limiter, which on this is 6,500 on both engines. I found that out by letting them warm up and put them on the limiter for just a second. Customer's boat, whatever, let her rip. Can't be any worse than what he's gonna do to it. But I mean, yeah, it seems, I'm not gonna put spark plugs in the other engine because our main focus was the starboard side engine. So I just put plugs in it. I never did test before, you know, with the old plugs, you know, if you put it in gear, if it would rev up. I never heard that. All I heard was neutral and 3,500 RPMs. That's all we got out of it. But if he has trouble with it tomorrow, I'm going to investigate this switch. As a matter of fact, I should investigate now just to see what it looks like. Should we? Okay, yeah, let's do it. It's getting dark out here. I don't have time to piss around with a screwdriver. Oh, buddy, this is a whole rigmarole. So there's the switch. Here's your 2-wire switch. That's what limits the RPM. It's the only switch I see. I want to look down in there and see if there's any problems, like rubbing. All right, we got her out now where we can work on it. So these 2 wires go into this weather pack connector. We'll take a look at that. Make sure there's no corrosion or anything. Doesn't seem to be. Seal looks good. One thing I wanted to look at is where this wiring goes against this metal. Make sure it's not chafed anywhere, or it could be grounding out. Or it simply could be just a sticky switch. I haven't worked on many of these, but I do not think this is the original wiring. It could be. It very well could be. But I just don't know. If I look down to the belly of it here, I see it goes into the factory loom, and everything looks okay there. So yeah, whatever problem he's having, it was intermittent. Which all the cables and stuff up here look to be in good shape. They're nice and lubed. The switch functions properly. I did test that. There's your switch right here. Everything looks, oh. Well, I know you guys can't see it, but there is a little bit of damage right here on this wire. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I don't think it has poked through the insulation. I don't think. I don't think it's poked through the insulation, so I will not worry about that right at the moment. But the rest of it seems fine. Looks like it got pinched. There's your switch. I know it's getting dark out here, but I just want to make sure that we don't have any wires being pulled or ripped. Seems like it functions fine. Just a little micro switch. Honestly, you could bypass this, that way you can do whole shots, but I'm not going to do that. I'm here to fix it, not to modify it. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. Looks like it's in good shape. If it is a bad switch, we can get a new one coming. But he's going to take it out in the lake tomorrow and see how it performs. I don't think there's anything wrong with the engines. I don't think there's anything wrong with the carburetors. I don't think there's nothing wrong back there. I think it solely has to do with this switch. So, okay, well, I'm going to tidy this up. It's getting dark out here, and I'm going to set it out for him. I totally forgot to record an outro, but this is your outro now that I'm editing this thing. Boat runs great. Hopefully it does well in the water tomorrow. I told him not to pay me until he lets me know that it performed well. So that's going to be the end of this video. Sorry it's a little botched, but yeah, we'll do better the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Remember to like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment, whether it's positive or negative. Hopefully no negatives. That's not nice. Y'all take care. See you in the next one.